Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to explain the lecture of week 22. Our lecture is divided into two parts, writing and grammar. First of all, we are going to start with the writing part. Before I start with the type of writing that we are going to explain, let us just remember together that we are going to write an essay which is divided into 4 paragraphs: the introduction, the 2 body paragraphs, and the conclusion. The type of essay that we are going to explain today is the advantages and the disadvantages essay. What do we mean by advantages and what do we mean by disadvantages? When I say that this object or this place has its advantages, it means it has its positive side. And when I say disadvantages, it means it has a negative side. So it has pros and cons, good and bad, positive and negative. So when I say advantages and disadvantages, it means I'm talking about the good things and the bad things of a certain given topic. So this is what do we mean by advantages and disadvantages. So in an advantages and disadvantages essay, you describe positive and negative sides of a given topic. How to organize the essay? We have said before, when we explained what is an essay and the parts of an essay, that we usually start with the introductory paragraph or with the introduction. We will see now in the model how these are divided. Of course, in the introduction, the most important thing is the thesis statement, in which it sums up the whole essay and gives the main idea of the essay. In body 1, we talk about the advantages. In body 2, we talk about the disadvantages. And in the conclusion, we sum up the whole essay and we restate the thesis in different words. Now, let me tell you something about these 2 body paragraphs, which is very important. If I asked you to write an essay about the advantages and the disadvantages of a certain topic of a given topic, you write the advantages in the body paragraph and the disadvantages in the second body paragraph. But if I asked you to talk about the advantages only, then you divide. You, for example, talk about one advantage in the first body and the second advantage in the second body, or one disadvantage in the first body and one disadvantage in the second body. If I asked you to write one of these, يعني one of the advantages and disadvantages, not both. Okay? Now, the most important thing before writing an essay, before developing our essay, is to write an outline. I will explain this again and again and again every time we take a writing lesson. I will tell you again that the outline is a plan. It's a plan. As if, for example, you woke up in the morning, you put a paper and a pencil, you start writing your plans for today. For example, I'm going to the supermarket, then I'm going to visit my grandparents. I'll come and cook spaghetti. In the afternoon, I will go for a walk. At night, I will go watch a movie with my friends. This is a plan. The outline is a plan. It lists and arranges your ideas. It arranges your ideas in order. It makes it easier for you to arrange your idea. So the outline is a plan which lists and arranges the ideas you will present in your essay. It is an organized form of brainstorming. You organize your ideas in an outline. It is a summary of what you will write. So in the outline, you write a summary of what you are going to develop in your essay. Okay? Now, how to write a topic outline. Please concentrate and pay attention because this is very important. First of all, in an outline, I write the title of my essay. Okay? Any title. What is the title of your essay? Write it. Then I use the Roman numbers to number the paragraphs. يعني to number the introduction, I use 1 in Roman numbers. Or you can use it this way. Some people write it this way. 1 or 2 for the body and 3 for the conclusion. I think they're very clear now. Okay? So number 1 for the introduction. In the introduction, I do not write the whole paragraph, of course, in the outline. I just write the most important thing in the introductory paragraph, which is the thesis. So you just write the thesis statement. That's it. After that, I move to the body. Of course, I number it with Roman numbers, body. Usually, we know that we have 2 body paragraphs. 2 body paragraphs. I give them names. I name the first body paragraph A and the second body paragraph B. Same as you guys. One of you is Ali, the other is Hassan, the other is Sally, Sami, Huda, whatever. Okay? But use names for the body paragraphs. What is the name of the first body paragraph? It's A. What is the name of the second body paragraph? It's B. In the first body paragraph, I'm going to talk about the advantages of using mobile phones. Okay? So the main idea is advantages of using mobile phones. So the first body paragraph is called A. It talks about the advantages. I write in the main idea, advantages of using mobile phones. What are the advantages? I write them where? In the supporting details. So I number them. Okay, I may have two supporting details or more. And I may have 3 or 4 based on your ideas. Body paragraph B, which is the second body paragraph. Disadvantages of using mobile phones. What are the disadvantages? I write them in the supporting details. Okay, that's it. I go to number 3, the conclusion, which is the last paragraph in the essay. In the conclusion, we just restate the thesis statement but using different words. Like for example, if in the thesis statement we said there are many advantages and disadvantages of using mobile phones. So in the conclusion, I have to state the same idea but using different words. Okay, that's it. Now we move to the model that we have. Of course, this essay is based on the theme. It is theme related, based on our theme, famous scientists and scientific discoveries. Okay, let's read the prompt. Computers are not good or bad. They are powerful. In a well-organized expository essay of 150 to 200 words, explain 1 positive and 1 negative effect of the computer on education. Write an outline before you develop your essay. Okay? Let's see the outline together. Concentrate, please, and let's see the outline together. First of all, we should write the title. I did. Computer technology, a blessing or a curse. It means, is it good or bad? A blessing is something good. A curse is something bad, is something negative. So computer technology, a blessing or a curse is the title that I chose for my essay. I wrote the title. I started with the introduction. I numbered it with Roman numbers and I wrote the thesis statement. The thesis statement here should include that computers have positive impact and negative impact on education. So we should include this in the introductory paragraph and especially in the thesis. Let's see the thesis that I wrote concerning the educational field. computer technology has been beneficial. See, here I talked about the blessing, about the advantages to education in several ways, although it affected it negatively. Here I'm talking about the disadvantages in some other ways. So in the thesis here, I talked about the negative sides and the positive sides of computers on education or to education. Okay, now I move to the first body paragraph, which is body A. In body A, I'm going to talk about the advantages. So computers are a blessing to school education. This is the main idea. Or computers have many advantages on school education. Okay, I start with the supporting details. They provide students with a lot of information which enriches their knowledge. This is the first advantage or a good positive side of computers. Helps students in doing their homework and projects faster. This is the second advantage. Very simple. I go to body paragraph B, the second body paragraph. In the second body paragraph, I'm going to talk about the curse, about the negative sides of computers on education. Like, students tend to favor the games they display over studying, so they play games more than studying. Students are distracted from their duties. And of course, when students are using their computers or their tablets or their mobile phones, they are distracted from their duties. They're not doing their assignments anymore. So these are the positive impacts and the negative impacts of computer to education. Now I move to the third paragraph in the essay, which is the conclusion. In the conclusion, I told you, you have to restate the thesis using different words. Let's see the similarity between the thesis and the concluding sentence. Computers can be a symptom of progress and civilization if they are used in a constructive way. So here I'm talking about the benefits of computers, while they can be calamitous and catastrophic if they are used in a destructive way. So here I'm talking about their negative sides. So I restated the same idea, the same concept, but using different words. Now, all the information that you mentioned or you included into your outline are going to be used in developing your essay, but of course, with adding transitional words, with adding more sentences, with adding the correct punctuation, and so on. Let's see how I developed this outline into an essay. This is the essay. I started with the title. Of course, I'm going to use here a marker just to show you what we did. Computer technology, a blessing or a curse. This is the title. Of course, you add it. In the essay now, I have to start with something very important, which is the hook. Okay? The hook, as you know, is the first sentence in the essay in which it is attractive. It is catchy. I started my essay with a question hook. It says, did you know that the first computer weighed more than 27 tons? So I started with a question hook. During the 21st century, this is background information. So I'm trying here to give you background information about the computers before I reach into the main idea. Computer technology has been progressing in an increasing rate in relation to all the other fields. Now, I started with the thesis statement concerning the educational field. Computer technology has been beneficial to education in several ways, although it affected it negatively in some other ways. I start with paragraph 1. On one hand, so the first part of the essay, computers are a blessing to school education, for they provide students a lot of information which enriches their knowledge. They also give them the opportunity of learning useful things via the internet about strange documented stories and historical events. Consequently, computers help students in doing their homework and projects faster, and they also help them prepare their lessons. So I just developed the ideas I mentioned in the outline in the first body paragraph. Let's move to the second body paragraph. On the other hand, computers are a curse to school education. as they distract students from their duties by the games they display, which students tend to favor over studying. Moreover, students' grades deteriorate due to this distraction. Okay, so this is also the second body. I just developed my ideas in a very simple way. Now we move to the last body paragraphs. I started with to sum up. This shows that you are going to end up the essay. Computers can be a symptom of progress and civilization if they are used in a constructive way, while they can be calamitous and catastrophic if they are used in a destructive way. So here I restated the thesis using different words. So we should control computers and never allow them control us. That's it. I ended my essay and that's it. Okay, this is everything. Of course, during the live sessions, I'm going to explain more and more in details about writing an essay. And of course, by practicing essays, you will master writing essays later on. Okay, now we are going to move to the second part of the lecture, which is grammar. Today in grammar, we are going to explain two lessons. These lessons are very easy and very short. The past perfect tense and the past perfect progressive. First, we are going to start with the past perfect tense. Let's have a look at the uses and the examples that we have. Let's read the sentence. Richard had gone out when his wife arrived in the house. In this sentence, if we want to understand the sentence as a language, it shows that he went out when his wife arrived in the office. So when she arrived to the office, he was already gone. So this shows that the past perfect tense describes an action finished before another action in the past. So the action of going out happened before the wife arrived. So here we have two actions, one finished before the other in the past. So when he had gone, this action happened before the wife had arrived to the office. The second example, Christine had never been to an opera before last night. This describes an action that happened before a specific time in the past. This action happened before a specific time in the past. So it shows last night, before last night. Okay, a specific time in the past. The last usage, let's see the example. I got stuck in traffic because there had been an accident. Because there had been an accident, as you can see here, we have a cause-effect relationship. So the third use of the past. So here there is a cause-effect relationship, which is described because they used because. So I got stuck in traffic. Okay, this is the effect. Because there had been an accident, this is the cause. So the three uses of the past perfect tense is to describe an action finished before another past action, describe an action that happened before a specific time in the past, and to describe a cause-effect. Let's now move to the form of the past perfect. As you saw in the examples, they used had plus the past participle of the verb. Okay, so we usually used had either with singular subjects or plural subjects. You always use had. So for example, Richard had gone out when his wife arrived. I got stuck because there had been. Kristen had never been. So we are always using the past participle of the tense. Of course, now we have to memorize the third column in the irregular verbs list. There are sometimes expressions used in the past simple tense, in the past perfect tense, such as always, never, for, since, like have never been, she had just arrived, before, after, so, if, and so on. Let's see the examples. She had met him before the party. He had played football until last week. We weren't able to stay overnight at the hotel since we had not reserved a room in advance. So these time expressions or adverbs of frequency show you that the tense used here is the past perfect tense. Now we move to the last part, which is the questions and answers, negative, interrogative, and affirmative. Let's look at the affirmative sentence. She had finished the test. She had not finished the test. That's it. See how simple is it? And in the interrogative, you start the question with had. That's it. Okay, so she had finished. She hadn't finished. Had she finished? That's it. You just switch the words in order to have a question form. Let's now look at the exercise here. We have to fill in the brackets with either the past simple or the past perfect tense. So, a lot about her before I hear that she was safe. So, which action happened first? The action of being worried or the action of hearing about her? The action of being worried. So, I had worried a lot about her before I heard that she was safe. I didn't like the flat. Much smaller than at first. So it was much smaller than I had thought at first because the action of thinking happened first. She told us she a big tiger. So this is just a past simple, so short. They drink tea after they finish dinner. Which action happened first? The action of finishing dinner. So the action that happens first, take the past perfect tense. So they drank tea after they had finished dinner. She, when we have just directly past perfect, she had just folded the pink apron and placed it on the table drawer when the door opened and Joe entered. The police wanted to know why he had brought a gun to school. This is a cause-effect relationship. After he had worked at the hospital for 2 years, this action happened first. He decided to give up the job. When I arrived at the party, John had already gone home. We have already also, which shows the past perfect. Here are the answers. Had worried, heard, was, have both, had shot, drank, have finished, had just folded, opened, entered, had brought, had worked, decided, arrived, and had already gone. Now we have to change these sentences as required. Sam ate the last piece of cake. So this is past simple. Of course, Sam didn't eat. And interrogative, did Sam eat? Carl hadn't seen the new Harry Potter film, and here it's a past perfect. So Carl had seen, and the interrogative form, of course, we start with had, so had Carl seen. The third one, had the birds flew south for winter. The birds had flew south for winter. The birds hadn't flew south for winter. The last sentence, Troy fell off the chair. We have no had here, so this is a past simple. Troy didn't fall off his chair. Did Troy fall off his chair? And also we have the answers here written in the second slide. Now we move to the past perfect progressive tense and to the uses. The past perfect progressive tense has only 2 uses. Let's see. She had been working at the company for a year when she met James. This shows that something happened at a certain period of time in the past. So the past perfect progressive expresses how long to a point in the past. So how long she was working in the company when she met this person. The second use, the pavement was wet, it has been raining. Result at a time in the past. Okay, so the pavement was wet, it has been raining. The baby is sick, he had been eating ice cream. Okay, so this is how we relate the uses. Now we move to the form of the past perfect. Subject plus had plus been plus the verb plus ing. So I had been standing at the bus stop for 30 minutes. Time expressions used in the past perfect progressive are when, before, by the time, for, and since. Like, for example, Thomas had been trying to repair the phone the whole day. So, the whole day. Helen had been listening to the same music for 4 hours. Daniel had been watching TV for hours before he slept. So these are the time expressions that show you that the tense used here is the past perfect progressive. In the affirmative, negative, and interrogative, we also follow a certain pattern in which we write the subject plus had plus been plus the verb plus ing. They had been playing tennis. In the negative form, we just add not. They had not been playing tennis. And in the interrogative, we start with had. Had they been playing tennis? Let's solve this exercise together. We have to put the verbs into the present past perfect progressive. So we had been playing football for half an hour. I had been studying English for a short time. See, these show you for half an hour, for a short time. These show you that there is a past perfect progressive. She had done her homework before you came in. This also shows you his knees and hands were very dirty. He had crawled in the garden. So this is a result. I had been driving the car for 5 years when I sold it. This is the first use, past at a point in the past. يعني. We were very tired. We have been traveling for about 16 hours. Here we have a cause-effect relationship also. And a result. They were out of breath. They had been running for a long time. Also, an action resulted in the past. He had been living in London for 10 years when he had an accident. Also, here resulted action in the past. These are the answers as you can see. Now, in this exercise, it's a little bit different. You have to combine these sentences using after and before. Of course, you have to make slight changes based on the action which happens first. My mother took her umbrella. She went out. Which action happened first? The action of taking the umbrella or she went out? She took the umbrella before. So my mother had taken her umbrella before she went out. Frank called me. I went to school. So Frank called me after I went to school. So Frank called me after I had gone to school. So the action that happens first takes the past perfect tense. I washed the dishes. I watched TV. I had washed the dishes before I watched TV, because washing the dishes happened first. She washed her hands. She had lunch. Here it works both. We can say she washed her hands or she had washed her hands before having lunch or before she had lunch. The boys bought a ball. They played football. The boys had bought a ball before they played football. And these are also the answers. This was everything. I know it's a big lecture, but we are supposed to integrate both both subjects together in order to finish as much as we can from the curriculum. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.